Hey there, this is Alexis from the Penguin Random House audiobook team, also the Brooklyn Bookworm on Instagram. I'm here to bring to you my latest audiobook recommendation. Sometimes love saves you, and sometimes it shatters you wide open. In All the Way to the River, Elizabeth Gilbert shares the deeply human story of a friendship turned romance, tangled with addiction, heartbreak, and the hard work of finding freedom. It's messy, it's beautiful, and it's brutally honest about how love can both break us and awaken us. This isn't just a memoir, it's a reminder of what it takes to truly set yourself free. Listen to this sneak peek from All the Way to the River, read by the author, and get your download wherever audiobooks are sold.
What happened next is that I gave Rayya Elias a home. Actually, I gave her a church, a beautiful 18th century chapel located in a tiny village in rural New Jersey, a small box of light surrounded by dogwoods, willows, and a tall stand of bamboo that sways all day through the breeze like an undersea kelp forest. A few years earlier, I'd found a listing for this church on Craigslist and had bought it sight unseen, all the way from an internet cafe in Luang Prabang, Laos. In a life full of impulsive actions, this was one of my wilder leaps of faith, and as it turned out, one of my better ones. But really, I'd had no choice. When I'd first seen a tiny, grainy image of the church pop up on the computer screen, my soul had emphatically said, "You must buy this place. This will be your forever home." My church was, and still is, a place of quiet magic. The previous owners had done the hard work of repurposing it into a house, so all I needed to do was move some art and furniture into the place and then sit in the great chamber at the center of the building, gazing in awe at the original soaring windows of wavy glass that perpetually drenched the place with dancing light. When I got quiet enough, I could almost hear the prayers and hymns contained within these walls, the voices of the faithful and the yearning who had worshiped here for over 200 years. But I ended up living in the church for only a few months before my husband and I decided that we needed to find a more practical living arrangement. Lovely as it was, this little chapel was not an ideal space for two people to share, especially not two people who were both working from home. There was no privacy in that big empty box and not much heat. And the colonial era acoustics meant that if you so much as sniffled in one corner, it would echo through the entire building and disturb your partner. So we moved to a sturdy Victorian one town over. But I kept the church because I had gotten the idea to turn it into an artist residence and spiritual sanctuary. I had a dream of creating a space where friends and strangers could come and stay whenever they needed to write books, make art, record music, meditate, pray, or recover from their various crises, catastrophes, and heartbreaks. In other words, despite the fact that I had been given very clear instruction by my soul that this church was meant to be my forever home, I almost immediately started giving the place away to other people so I could save their lives and make their dreams come true. "Why are you giving this to me?" Rayya asked in bewilderment the first day she drove out from the city to see the place, which I had offered to her rent-free for the entire summer after her divorce. "Because someone told me you were having a tough time," I said. "I thought it might be nice for you to get out of the city this summer and have some peace, because you deserve it, because you need it." She stood in the center of the church and wept. "It's so beautiful," she said. "This is the most beautiful room I've ever seen. Nobody's ever given me anything like this. I don't know why I can't stop crying. I never cry like this." The truth is, I never paused back then to consider why indeed I was giving my sacred sanctuary over to Rayya, a person whom, in fact, I did not know very well. The simple and spiritual answer, I suppose, is that it was our destiny, and I certainly will never argue against destiny. But the more complex psychological answer is that it was a codependency reflex on my part, an impulse born from my own deep-rooted sense of anxiety and unease. I have a long personal history of not always knowing where home and security can be found. My parents, who prized self-reliance above any other virtue, made it clear to me growing up that I was expected to leave the house right after high school and never live there again. And I get it. I really do get it. After all, that's exactly what they had done when they were young. So that's what I did too. I went out in the world and tried to find places of my own to live. I was always anxious about it. In some ways, this anxiety was a terrific motivator. Fear made me resourceful, and I had some extraordinary adventures as a result, like working on a ranch in the Wyoming Rockies, or studying birds of prey at a wild game preserve in Kenya, or babysitting children in Mexico. I will cherish the memories of these escapades forever. In other ways, though, I became more codependent than ever. On the surface, I appeared to be a confident young go-getter, but my inner life was, as it had always been, a tremulous fearscape. I was neither mature nor emotionally secure, and I wasn't ready for the demands of adulthood. Hidden beneath all my apparent ingenuity was a terrified child, constantly asking, "Who's got me? Who will keep me safe? Where do I belong?" And thus I began my lifelong quest to make other people into my home.